Yeah. This season. Dexter Season 6 is obviously the 6th season in the long-running Showtime drama starring Michael C. Hall once again. And this season's honestly a big mixed bag for me, so let's go ahead and get started. Starting off with the good, and as always, Michael C. Hall does a really good job as Dexter in this season. It's not his best performance by any means, but it's far from his worst, even though I will not say that he's technically had a worse performance, just a weakest performance. But this isn't his weakest either. His weakest will be in Season 8, which I will talk about. But he does a good job as the character. His character development and growth is kind of put on hold for this season. He's basically just Dexter, really. He doesn't really have any big development in this season like he did in the first 5 seasons. But I still liked his performance either way. Jennifer Carpenter as Debra, once again, really, really good. I really like her as the character. Her chemistry with Dexter is really enjoyable. I really like it. David Zayas as Angel Batista, again, really like him. I really like David Zayas as an actor, really, and I just really like the character of Batista. His friendship with Dexter is really a lot of fun. I really like their chemistry as friends. And they got the main villain of this season, Travis Marshall, the Doomsday Killer, played by Colin Hanks. And Colin Hanks is a really good actor. He's the son of Tom Hanks, for God's sake, and Tom Hanks is the greatest actor to ever live. And I found this villain interesting. I liked the crime scenes that he sets up. It's a lot like a Jigsaw crime scene, it felt like for me, and the character is interesting. He's working with James Geller, played by Edward James Olmos, who is also really, really good. I actually liked him better than Colin Hanks, but either way, they both do good jobs, but I'll talk more on them a little bit later. Either way, aside from the characters in this season, I really liked the kills, not just the Doomsday Killer kills, but the kills made by Dexter as well. And I really love the ending to this season with Debra finding out that Dexter is a killer. She catches him killing Travis Marshall. A character I forgot to mention in this season is the character of Brother Sam. He's prominent throughout the first half of the season. I really like this character. I wish he was in more of the season. I really like his friendship with Dexter during the first half of the season. And that's about it for the good. Let's go ahead and move on to the bad. And like I said, this season is a very big mixed bag for me, and I'm gonna just jump into what I didn't like, mainly involving the killer in this season. Yes, Colin Hanks gave a good performance, as did Edward James Olmos. But it was more interesting when we thought that Edward James Olmos was actually working with Colin Hanks. Then you get this twist a little over halfway through the season that his character was dead the whole time and he was just a hallucination that Colin Hanks was having. And while I said this villain was interesting, he was for about half the season. And then it just kind of became repetitive of greatest hit villains from the first 4 seasons, particularly John Lithgow from season 4, because you got this character is religious. Arthur Mitchell in season 4 was a deacon at his church. You got Travis Marshall, who kind of fights what he's setting out to do. He acts like he's scared of what's controlling him. Arthur Mitchell in season 4 he seemed to be conflicted on what he felt he had to do. He felt scared of what seemed to be controlling him. This is just a way less interesting version of the Trinity Killer. I did like the kills and the crime scenes that were set up, but near the end, they just got a little uninteresting. And I hate to say that because, you got a killer killing people off of the tribulation period from the book of Revelations in the Bible that should be one of the most interesting villains in the series. It's actually one of the most uninteresting once you uncover the surface of it. But I'm sorry, it was interesting for the first half, and then it just got boring and kind of annoying. But that's aside from the fact. And then my other big issue with this season is that stupid plotline where Deb discovers that she's in love with Dexter. I get that they were only adopted. They were only siblings because Harry Morgan adopted Dexter after his mother was killed. But that doesn't excuse it. It's just absolutely awkward because we had 5 seasons prior to this where they were just brother and sister. And then they spring this on us that Debra is just all of a sudden in love with Dexter. I'm not buying it. I hate it. It's weird, and I don't like that storyline whatsoever. But aside from that, that's about all for the bad. Moving on to my final thoughts. Season 6 of Dexter is just a big mixed bag for me. I don't hate it, but it's nowhere near as good as the first 5 seasons, especially the first 4 seasons. But it's not absolutely horrible, but this is the season I do not look forward to rewatching, along with another season that I will review in a couple weeks. I just don't feel like rewatching this when I do rewatch the series. Dexter Season 6 is honestly a huge step down in quality from the first 5 seasons, and I could only give it a 5 out of 10. So that was my thoughts on Dexter Season 6. What did you think about this season if you have seen it? If you have not seen it, I tell you every week, go watch Dexter. It's an amazing show. As always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all next time.